Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, working hard, being responsible, maybe even manifesting, and yet the wealth, the freedom, the life you want still feels out of reach? You see other people making money effortlessly, traveling, living in luxury, and playing the game at a level you haven't even tapped into yet. But no matter how many motivational videos you watch or how many times you tell yourself, I am abundant, something just isn't clicking. Let's get real for a second. That's not coincidence. It's not bad luck. And it's not because you're not trying hard enough. It's because the system was never designed for you to win. Most people will never get rich. Not because they can't, but because they won't. They won't question the programming they've been given about money. They won't unlearn the habits that are keeping them stuck. They won't see through the illusion that keeps them trapped in an endless cycle of just getting by. But you're here. And that means you're already ahead of the game. Welcome to Wired to Be Rich, the podcast that takes money, success, and wealth creation to a level most people will never talk about. No sugarcoating, no fluff, just raw, unfiltered truth about what it really takes to break out of the matrix and step into real financial power. If you're new here, I'm Manda, your host, entrepreneur, career coach, and businesswoman. I run my own company called Balance and Destiny, where I help people land dream jobs, rewrite their careers, and position themselves for success. I've worked with top professionals, coached high earners, and helped people go from stuck to thriving. But beyond that, I've built multiple streams of income. I know how to position myself, how to demand more, and how to play the game at a high level. I'm constantly strategizing my way to more money, more freedom, more control over my life. And I didn't get here by following the same tired advice that keeps most people broke. So if you're ready to hear the truth about why most people will never get rich, and more importantly, how you can be one of the few who actually do, then stay with me, because this episode is about to change everything you thought you knew about wealth. Let's start with the lies that we've been told or sold about wealth. From the moment we step into this world, we are sold a story, a script, a formula for how to succeed. It talks about how you got to go to school, get good grades, find a stable job, work hard, save, retire. And if you do all of this right, one day you'll be rich. Right? Wrong. The system was never designed to make you wealthy. It was designed to keep you comfortable. And I say this all the time, but comfort is the enemy of wealth. Wealthy people don't play by the same rules as you. They don't trade time for money. They don't rely on a single paycheck. They don't wait around for someone to tell them they deserve a raise. They don't think about spending their earnings. They think about multiplying them. And if you don't believe me, ask yourself this. Why is financial literacy not taught in school? Why do they teach us trigonometry but not how to build wealth? Why do they expect you to graduate with thousands of dollars in debt but never teach you how to leverage money, build credit, or create assets? Because the moment you learn how money really works, you stop being dependent, and dependent people are easier to control. Let me pause here for a second, because while we're talking about wealth and success, I need to ask you something. When was the last time you invested in yourself? If you're listening to this, you already know that knowledge is power. But what's even more powerful? Taking action. That's exactly why I created Balance and Destiny, to help people like you take control of their careers, optimize their resumes, and master interviews, all while landing high-paying jobs that set you up for real financial freedom. I've helped clients negotiate thousands of dollars in salary increases, transition into their dream roles, and completely shift the way they see their worth in the workplace. So if you're tired of being underpaid, overlooked, and stuck in a job that's not serving you, let's change that. Book a consultation with me today at balanceanddestiny.com, and let's start designing a career that works for you. Again, that is balanceanddestiny.com. All right, let's talk about it. There are 5 real reasons why most people will never get rich. And I already know some of y'all are thinking, okay, this is cool and all, but how do I actually start flipping my money? Like, what's the move? What do rich people really be doing differently? And I feel you because I used to think the same way. I'd hear all this motivational talk about changing your mindset and creating assets, which is important. And I talk about myself a lot, but nobody was actually explaining how to do that in real life. So let's break it all the way down, not just what's keeping people broke, but how to actually get started building wealth for real. Let's be real. Most of us were raised to be workers, not wealth builders. We were literally programmed from childhood to go to school, get good grades, find a good job, and just exist in this endless cycle of working, paying bills, and hoping to retire one day. But let me ask you something. Have you ever met someone who followed that script and got filthy rich? Like actually wealthy? Probably not, because the people who own the wealth don't follow that plan. They don't think in terms of paychecks, they think in terms of ownership. Think about this. Someone making $200,000 a year with no assets is actually in a worse financial position than someone making $80,000 a year but owns rental properties, stocks, and or has passive income coming in every month. The problem isn't how much money you make, it's about what you're doing with it. How are you leveraging your dollars? If your money is just sitting in a savings account, you have one foot in the door, but there's so much more to learn. If you're getting paid every 2 weeks and your only plan is to pay bills, shop a little, and maybe stash a few hundred in savings, you're already losing. The question you should be asking is, how can I make this money work for me? What can I buy that makes me money back? How do I stop living paycheck to paycheck and start making moves? For me, I've been learning more about real estate investing because that's one of the easiest ways to start generating passive income without consistently working. And if you're thinking, girl, I do not have money to buy a whole house right now, I feel you. Neither do I, but we're getting there. And let me put you on game real quick. I want to give you a few ways to get into real estate without actually needing stacks of cash. The first is house hacking. House hacking is where you buy a duplex, live in one unit, and rent out the other. The rent from your tenant covers your mortgage, so you're basically living for free. The next is going to be wholesale real estate. You don't even need money to do this. You find undervalued properties, get them under contract, and then sell that contract to an investor for a fee. No money out of pocket, just pure hustle. The next is one of my favorites, which is real estate investment trust. REITs. Think of REITs as the stock market's version of real estate. You're investing in real estate without actually having to own property, just like buying stocks, but you get paid from rental income. It's been one of my smartest investments, but it's definitely not the end game. There are way too many other ways to invest and level up your income. The point is, stop thinking about how much you earn and start thinking about what you own, because working harder is not the key to wealth. Here's another hidden truth. Money blocks are keeping you broke. When it comes down to your mindset, you cannot out-earn a broke mentality. If you're someone who grew up hearing stuff like money is hard to get, rich people are selfish, you have to work yourself to the bone to be successful, or you have to sell your soul to reach high levels of income, then guess what? That mental programming is blocking your bag. That one right there. And here's how I know this is real. I used to have this habit where every time I made any little bit of extra money, I would spend it. Not even on purpose, but I'd suddenly find things I needed to buy. I'd justify it by saying, I worked hard, I deserve this. But what I didn't realize was that I had an internal comfort zone with money. I was used to struggling. So whenever I got ahead financially, my subconscious mind found ways to bring me back to what felt normal. That's exactly why so many lottery winners end up broke within 5 years. It's not just about how much money you make. It's about what your mind is conditioned to accept as normal. If you've only ever seen yourself as someone who makes, let's say, 50,000 a year, then suddenly getting millions won't change your financial reality in the long run. Your subconscious will always pull you back to what feels familiar. So here's a little task I want you to do for me real quick. Try saying this out loud. I want you to repeat, I make $500,000 a year. How did that feel? Did it feel uncomfortable? Unrealistic? If your first reaction was doubt or disbelief, that's exactly the block that's holding you back. That right there. That feeling that you just got is the exact block that's holding you back. Your financial reality cannot outgrow what you believe you deserve. If you don't truly see yourself as someone who can earn, manage, and sustain that kind of money, you will never attract it. Or if you do, you won't keep it. Money isn't just numbers in a bank account. It's a reflection of your mindset. So how do you fix your money mindset? Well, you start by paying attention to your first reaction when you think about making more money. Does it feel exciting or is it stressful? Does it feel real or unrealistic? Next, you want to rewrite your beliefs. Instead of saying making money is hard, start telling yourself making money is a skill that I am mastering. Next, you want to surround yourself with people who think differently and outside of the box. If you only hang around broke-minded people, you'll keep thinking like them. Another hidden truth is that society rewards comfort, but wealth comes from risk. Most people are broke because they're addicted to comfort. They'll stay in a low-paying job for years because it feels familiar. People love to say, I don't know if I want to start a business. It feels risky. But let's be real. What's actually risky? Relying on one job to fund your entire life. That's what's risky. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you to quit your job and dive headfirst into entrepreneurship. Running a business is a whole different game, and trust me, you have to pay to play. But at the very least, think bigger. No single job, no matter how secure it feels, is enough, especially in this economy. Multiple streams of income aren't just a flex, they're a necessity. This might be some of the realest advice you will hear, so take it seriously. Let me say this louder for the people in the back. Playing it safe is the riskiest thing you can do. Relying on one source of income is the riskiest thing you could do. I cannot stress that enough. Wealthy people take a risk, yes. Not reckless risk, but calculated ones. They invest in themselves. They put money into opportunities. They make moves even when they're unsure. So how can you start taking smarter risk? Well, first, you want to start a side hustle. Freelancing, selling digital products, flipping something. Just start something outside of your paycheck. And understand this, it's not about getting rich overnight. It's about delayed gratification, which is hands down one of the greatest skills you can master. Some months you'll feel like you're on top of the world, making more than you ever imagined. Other months you'll wonder if all the work is even worth it. I feel that too, trust me. Whenever I have a slower month than usual, I have to remind myself that this is a process. It's supposed to take time. The people who actually make it, they don't quit when things slow down. They keep going. Even if what you're doing is only making you $5 a month right now, it doesn't matter. That $5 can turn into 500, then 5,000, then 500,000. But you have to be willing to play the long game. Most people don't see results fast enough, so they give up and go back to what's comfortable. But the ones who stick it out, they're the ones who change their lives. I remind myself of this all the time. Mastering delayed gratification is the difference between staying where you are and reaching a level you never thought was possible. Next, you want to learn some high-income skills. The more valuable your skills, the more money you can charge, right? Lastly, you want to learn how to invest. Stocks, crypto, real estate, start small, but start. The key isn't just investing, it's investing smart. Here's a major gem. This is one of the most informational episodes. So save it, bookmark it, and send it to everyone you know because we all need to get this money. The hidden gem is to follow the money. Look up Trump's agenda or any major political leader in power and pay attention to where they're funneling our tax dollars. Where is he expanding resources? Where is he pulling out? That's where the biggest opportunities are. The government spending patterns often signal what industries are about to boom. And the wealthy always move before the average person catches on. Be ahead of the curve. Also, don't just invest, learn how to hedge. If all your money is in one place, you are at risk, people. It's just like having one job and hoping and praying that they never let you go. You want to diversify. Real estate is great, but what happens in a crash? Stocks are solid, but do you have recession-proof plays? Crypto can be lucrative, but are you only betting on hype? Spread your money across different vehicles so you're never fully dependent on one thing. And stay up to date with financial views. You don't have to turn into a finance junkie, reading market reports all day, but ignorance is expensive. Even checking in weekly will put you light years ahead. The people who win in wealth building aren't the ones who are the smartest. They're the ones who stay informed and take action. Money moves fast. Make sure you're moving with it, okay? Another hidden truth is that your circle is keeping you broke. Okay, I said it. No take backsies. Your environment is either pushing you forward or pulling you down. If you spend all your time around people who complain about money, who never invest, who think success is luck, then you're absorbing their energy. So how to upgrade your circle? I'm glad you asked. First, you want to follow people who are where you want to be. I'm not saying everybody in your entire life has to be ahead of you, but a good chunk of people that you actually dedicate time to need to be where you want to be. It's not realistic for everyone, but a good chunk, okay? Stop listening to your broke friends for financial advice, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you have to. Stop listening to them when it comes down to money. It's okay to be a supportive ear for if they need it, but don't you ask them anything about money. Just don't. They mean well, but they have no idea what they're talking about. Next, you want to get into the right rooms. Networking events, business groups, real estate meetups. Whether in person or virtually, put yourself in the mix. The right connections can change your whole trajectory. Go out alone sometimes. Take trips alone sometimes. Stop waiting for people to match your energy. Some of the best opportunities happen when you're alone because you're not distracted by anybody else. You're not engaging or providing your attention to anyone but yourself and your environment. So naturally, your energy is fully locked in on your surroundings, which naturally makes you more open to higher vibrational opportunities. When you prioritize your elevation, the right people and opportunities will start aligning with you effortlessly. But here's something that people still don't know about wealth, 2025 edition. 2025 is moving differently. The money game is changing faster than ever, and the people who are getting ahead are the ones who understand where wealth is flowing and how to position themselves in front of it. It's no longer just about saving, investing in a 401k, or working a high-paying job. Now it's about AI-driven income, new investment vehicles, leveraging business credit, and adapting to an economy where people are making millions online overnight. Most people think wealth is about luck or privilege, but it's actually about strategy, timing, and execution. If you don't adjust how you think, how you work, and how you move, you will fall behind while the rich keep stacking. The people who understand new money, new skills, and new investments will be ahead of the game. The people who don't, they'll keep repeating the same cycle of working, spending, and making very little progress. One of the biggest lies people believe is that they can go from broke to millionaire in a year. While social media makes it look like everyone is getting rich overnight, real wealth is built in phases. The reason most people never get wealthy isn't because they're incapable. It's because they quit too soon. They start a side hustle, invest for a year, or try something new, and if they don't see immediate results, they give up. And most people don't even make it to a year, if we're being honest. But wealth happens in 3 stages. The first 2 years is your grind era. You're stacking money, eliminating bad debt, trying to build your clientele, learning high-income skills that can't be replaced by AI. And if you're still relying on a single paycheck in 2025, you're playing yourself. AI and automation are taking over, y'all. And the only way to stay ahead is by building valuable skills like digital marketing, sales, copywriting, or investing. Consulting even. I know AI can take over consulting, but there's just some things that AI can't do when it comes down to real people skills. This is the time to cut unnecessary spending also. Build multiple income streams and start thinking about money differently. By years 3 to 5, you should be scaling your income and leveraging your money to create assets. This means investing in real estate, the stock market, or a business. Are y'all hearing the repeated themes here in this episode? Because this is where you shift from working for money to making money work for you. Then, in the third phase, by year 5 to 10, you should be automating and multiplying wealth. At this stage, It's likely that you own income producing assets. Your money is making more money and you're in the position to work because you want to, not because you have to. Most people never get past the first stage because they're impatient. They want results now, and if they don't get them, they assume the system is rigged or that they're just unlucky, or it's their friends and family who aren't supportive that's keeping them in lack. But the truth is, people who commit to the long game always win. The question is, are you willing to stay consistent for 5 to 10 years to achieve financial freedom? If the answer is no, then you don't actually want wealth. You just want a quick fix. I'm personally willing to wait as long as I have to because I know it's coming. I can smell it. I can see it. Now that we know how the rich are making money in 2025, let's talk about what separates those who actually make it from those who stay stuck. Most people don't fail because of a lack of opportunity. They fail because they refuse to upgrade their mindset, their habits, and their environment. The wealthy don't just work harder, they move differently. They think like investors, not workers, making every dollar they touch multiply instead of trading time for money. If you're still operating with an employee mindset, you'll always be stuck in the cycle of working for someone else's wealth. Your environment plays a massive role too. If the people around you are comfortable playing small, you will be too. Growth requires getting in rooms where wealth building is the norm, where conversations about scaling, investing, and strategic moves happen daily. But beyond mindset and environment, execution is a real game changer. The rich don't move without strategy. Every decision they make aligns with their bigger vision. They cut distractions, they stay disciplined, and they focus on actions that generate real financial power. If you're serious about up-leveling, ask yourself, are you still just talking about success, or are you actively restructuring your life to create it? Because in 2025, wealth is going to those who move smart, adopt fast, and make decisions like the 1%. Most people want more success, more money, and more freedom. But the truth is, few will actually get it. Not because they aren't capable, but because they refuse to step into the version of themselves that can hold that level of success. Up-leveling isn't about working harder. It's about shifting how you think, how you carry yourself, and what you tolerate in life. This year, 2025, is truly about execution. It has wealth written all over it, y'all. You can feel it. I know you can because you're listening to this podcast. It's about learning the money game, moving differently, and putting yourself in the right rooms. You already have the mindset and the drive, but now it's time to turn that into real financial moves. The people who act now, mark my words, the people who act now will be the ones winning in 3 to 5 years. The people who hesitate, procrastinate, or wait for the perfect time will be stuck in the same cycle. Wealth is not about luck. It's about positioning yourself. The question is, where are you positioning yourself right now? You're wired to be rich, so start moving like it. Now, I just dropped some serious gems in this episode. Now, the question is, what are you going to do with this information? Did you just listen to this podcast to listen to the sound of my voice? Or did you listen because you're ready to level up your life? Tag me on social media and tell me what hit you the hardest. My social tags are in the podcast description below. And if you found this episode valuable, send it to someone who needs to hear it. Remember, you are wired to be rich, so start acting like it. See you all in the next episode.